Hi, Matt here, and product specialist for Mackie, and we're here at Sonicstate, we're here at Sonicstate, and we're here to talk about our new Axis digital mixing system. So with the Axis, the heart of it is our DL32R rack mount digital mixer, which has been out on the market for quite some time now. The Axis is basically an extension of that process. So we've got all three iPads working in conjunction with one another. We've got our full color TFT displays, tons of rotary encoders, 17 Alps motorized touch sensitive faders. So everything that we could do with the app, we wanted to bring into the control surface, and we wanted you to be able to do just a little bit faster. So let me show you an example. So if we look at this center iPad, if I want to go to an aux, I tap here, tap here, and then I tap the aux I want. So that's 2 button presses, which is pretty fast, right? But what we wanted to take it one step further. So now on the Surface, you just press 1 button, and you're already at that aux layer, you're ready to mix, and you're set to go. So basically with this system, we wanted you to do 3 things. 1, we wanted to make it so our users could spend less time digging through complex menus, more time actually mixing. We also wanted to give you the benefit of being able to completely customize the entire system, either make it very simple to use or just very detailed, be able to label each channel with name, color, icon, even take a picture with the iPad and drop that into the channel. The last thing we wanted to create what we're calling surface to wireless mixing, which is pretty cool. So basically what we wanted you to feel like when you're mixing on the Surface and when you're mixing on the iPad, it all feels like the same experience. So let me show you an example. So if we look at this iPad down here, if we pull it out of the dock, it now knows it's in my hand. And if I go to that aux out, let's see the Vox aux, let's go ahead and take a look. We can figure out what's wrong, make the adjustment. It's good enough for me, right? And when we drop it back in, it'll go right back into our workflow because it now knows that it's back into the dock. So these are all things that we've been working really, really hard on here at Mackie to try to make everything kind of work together in one, one experience, so it doesn't feel like the iPad is completely separate from the control surface.
So how does the iPad know that it's back in the dock?
So there's a little sensor in the bottom of what we're calling our smart bridge on each iPad. So I've labeled this one A, this one's B, and that one's C, and then we can go into the app and tell it what we want each one to do. So this guy's set to A, and I have him following the current selected channel, but I could also have him on a fixed view. I could also have it on a first history like this guy. So we'll notice that when we go through the channels, when we go through the channels, if we select dynamics come up on the center screen. We select a different channel, it goes to that separate channel. If we go back to EQ's there. If we bank back, and we hop down to, for example, our snare top. So you notice that the snare went from this side to this side. Now we have both snares up, and I can actually work on both snare mics at the same time, which for a lot of people is just not available in this price point. You can't work on multiple channels at the same time without toggling back and forth between 2 screens. So that's the Axis digital mixing system, and like I said, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make it so there are multiple ways to do the same functions. Getting EQ, we don't want you digging through menus. We want you to push the EQ button and just get into it, right? And that's what the Axis system has been designed from the ground up to be wireless, but with our DC16 control surface, it makes everything just a little bit faster.
So you can actually use the Axis system without an iPad as well, right?
Yeah, so the great part is the control surface gives me all the visual feedback I need right on the control surface. You'll notice that I have a channel name, I have channel color, channel icons. They're coming up here in a second. All built into the system. My groups, we don't use fixed banks like a lot of the competition. So you can get all of your banks right here on the left side, all of your groups. All your aux outputs are on the right over here. So again, they're all just 1 button push away, and everything can be done on the Surface. Now, the really great part is this is a very flexible system. You can run it with 3 iPads in the dock, monitor mixing on stage, and 4 control surfaces if you want. Or for a small gig, you can throw the DL32R in a rack, throw a couple mics in your backpack, grab an iPad, and run the whole show that way as well. So this gives you a lot of flexibility and scalability, whether you're doing production, whether you're doing installs. I mean, it gives you a lot of flexibility.